The Chicago Bears' long-running search for a new home took a notable turn Thursday as Indiana lawmakers advanced legislation designed to help build a new, domed stadium for the franchise in Northwest Indiana, prompting the team to issue a statement calling it the most significant progress in its planning to date. At the center of the momentum is Senate Bill 27, which the Indiana House Ways and Means Committee approved unanimously 24-0. The measure would create a Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority, an entity empowered to help finance, construct, and lease a stadium, and potentially issue bonds and acquire land as part of the project. Hammond and Wolf Lake emerge as the focal point. The Bears' statement, released as the bill moved forward, explicitly pointed to a proposed site near Wolf Lake in Hammond, Indiana, and said the organization is continuing site-specific due diligence to support the vision of building a world-class venue there. ESPN described Wolf Lake as a border area location spanning parts of Illinois and Indiana and noted its proximity to Chicago, roughly a short drive south of Soldier Field, making it a pitch built around staying within the region while leaving the state. In the same statement, the Bears publicly thanked Indiana Governor Mike Braun and key legislative leaders for helping establish a framework that could produce what the team called a premier venue for all of Chicagoland, with the potential to attract visitors from across the globe. Indiana's push accelerates, even as Illinois talks drag. Indiana's effort has been aggressive, and Thursday's committee vote is the latest step in a full-court press to lure one of the NFL's oldest franchises across state lines. NBC Chicago reported that the Indiana Senate had already moved quickly on legislation setting parameters for a deal, including items such as a bond issue and lease structure. But the major question had been whether the plan could move through the House. The committee's unanimous approval of an amended version suggested that resistance has softened. Indiana officials are speaking about the opportunity in sweeping terms. NBC Chicago quoted lawmakers and local leaders framing the move as transformative for Northwest Indiana, while Governor Braun described a framework that would move forward if due diligence remains on track. Illinois reaction, surprised and very disappointed. While Indiana lawmakers were advancing their plan, Illinois leaders were dealing with an awkward contrast. A scheduled hearing in Springfield tied to the Bears' Illinois stadium path was canceled the same day. According to both the NFL.com report and NBC Chicago, the Illinois House Revenue and Finance Committee was set to consider a bill that would allow large projects to negotiate long-term property tax rates with local taxing bodies, a tool seen as relevant to stadium development. But the hearing was called off. The cancellation quickly became political. NBC Chicago reported that a spokesperson for Governor J.B. Pritzker said the pause was requested by the Bears, and then criticized the team for praising Indiana while ignoring Illinois. The Bears' statement, notably, did not mention Illinois at all, a detail highlighted by multiple outlets as the cross-border courtship heats up. How did the Bears get here? The franchise's stadium saga has swung between multiple visions: renovating or replacing Soldier Field, building a new dome on Chicago's lakefront, and relocating to suburban Arlington Heights on land the team purchased for redevelopment. The Arlington Heights concept has remained a major pillar of the Bears' planning, but even that path has included public funding and infrastructure questions. The Associated Press account, via NFL.com and The Guardian, notes that consultant reporting tied to the Arlington Heights plan referenced hundreds of millions and requested public support for infrastructure, alongside the team's intent to pay for the stadium itself. Now Indiana is offering an alternative structure, a stadium authority built specifically to create the legal and financial runway for a deal, with Hammond's Wolf Lake area positioned as the target. What comes next? Thursday's vote was a significant step, but not the finish line. NBC Chicago reported it was not immediately clear when the full Indiana House would vote and noted Indiana's legislative session ends February 27, adding urgency to the timeline. For the Bears, the public posture is clear. The team is signaling real interest in Indiana while continuing due diligence, and it has framed SB 27 as the clearest progress yet toward a new stadium plan. For Illinois leaders, the message is equally clear. They don't want to lose the Bears, and they're increasingly willing to say so out loud.